Hello and welcome into your Game 4 Bruins fan review for the second round series of the 2019 Stanley Cup playoffs against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now the Bruins get the first really convincing win of the series. Their first win was in a very tight game. This is the first game where I clearly thought the Bruins were the better team, and they won, and they played like they were the better team. And it leads me to be very optimistic for tonight's Game 5, which is in Boston. The Bruins took back home ice. It's a 3-game series now. Really anyone's game, it feels like, but I feel like the Bruins took a really big step in the right direction of last game. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out, but I'm optimistic right now. Cautiously optimistic is how I feel about the Bruins right now. I think that's how you should be too if you're a Bruins fan. As for Columbus, your team's been very good up to this point, and they're going to need to get another big road victory in Game 5 or Game 7 if you get to a Game 7. So really, it's still anyone's series, but I'm leaning Bruins right now, which is a good feeling as a Bruins fan. Now, as you can see, a lot of shots in this game, 46-40, a little more open than the last few games. Face-off percentage favoring the Bruins. I think most games this series has favored the Bruins that way. 2 for 6 on the power play. A lot of dumb penalties by Columbus and clear penalties too. Just very undisciplined by Columbus. I mean, the first period alone, they had 4. The Bruins had 2, but 4 in the first period, man, you're really putting your team up against it when you take that many penalties. Also, you can see Tuukka Rask there in the top right. Had to include a Tuukka pitcher on the Boone Jenner penalty shot. Saves it with the blocker there. I'm not sure if you can see the puck in that picture, but it's somewhere in there. On the bottom left, you can see the penalty that caused it, which is a big issue for the Bruins, giving up those chances against on the power play. And I'll get to those stats towards the later part of the video. Bergeron in the bottom right, I believe that was after his second goal, where he, I believe that was the shot where he sniped top corner. But let's go over the goals. I'm going to make this video a little more brief because Game 5 starts in less than an hour. I was a little slow to get to this one because I've just been busy with school and other stuff that I've had to get to. The first goal that opened it up was 3 minutes and 33 seconds into the first period. And that was a David Pastrnak one-timer from the left circle, as you can see in the top right there. David Pastrnak finally taking a shot that feels like a David Pastrnak type of goal. And it slides right under Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky gets a piece, and as you can see, David Savard there trying to fish it out, but it's too late. It just trickles over the line. Pastrnak gets on the board, and it felt like Pasta was taking a huge step in the right direction with that goal. Very good pass by McAvoy to get it to Pasta, and this is 5-on-5. That's not a power play shot. That's 5-on-5, getting him open at the circle over there and getting a shot on Bobrovsky, which beats him. The next goal would be a few minutes later. Bergeron would get on the board, snipe from the top of the slot. You can see at the top right, he shoots it, and the puck is going in on net. It might already be in the net on that pitcher, but a beautiful play, beautiful pass by Marchand from the left boards. Crew gave it down. Really good on the power play. One of those penalties coming back to bite Columbus in the ass. But I'm not sure which one that was. I want to say that was the Josh Anderson hook that sent them to the power play there. No. It was Alexander Teixeira tripping penalty because Brad Marchand got his penalty that led to the penalty shot on that one. So really good power play. The power play was on point tonight, or at least it felt that way. They got 2 goals in this game on the power play. Then you get to a little controversy with the next goal later in the period, and by that I mean a minute later in the period. Big response here by the Blue Jackets with some controversy. The puck goes out of play here. It clearly does. Hits off the back net above Tuukka Rask. The puck falls, as you can see in the bottom right-hand picture, to Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand tries to get it in on net. Trickles through to Panarin, who slaps it home. In the bottom left, you can see that. But in the top right picture, you can see that I believe that is Josh Anderson is just skating out of the zone, leaving the zone because he thinks the puck is out of play. And it's really just mind-boggling, I should say, that all the refs on the ice, none of them saw it go out or saw the flight of the puck. I know they said that, I heard an ex-ref say the crowd was dark, so it's hard to see the puck, but really, I mean, I feel like that's a pretty lame excuse, and the Blue Jackets benefit from it. And this really flipped the game right here. I really felt like we were in very much good control of the game, and then this goal happened and Columbus came roaring back, and we were lucky that we didn't concede for the rest of this period, or at least that's how I felt at the time. However, there would be no goals in the second period. You move on to the third, where you'd resume the scoring with Sean Kuraly, the Ohio native, getting one back on his former hometown club. Very good shot off the boards by Zdeno Chara. I took that bottom right picture from the video to highlight that. Bounces off the boards in front. Bobrovsky gets a stick on it, which ramps it into his Columbus defender right in front of him. Lands to Corrali right there, as you can see in the bottom left. Whacks it home. Bruins celebrate. 2-goal lead in this series feels like a 4-goal lead in like any other series, because this series has just been so tight. Both goalies playing outstanding. Obviously, Tuukka had the better of it tonight. And then Bergeron would get another one on the board from Pasta and Krug. So the big blind getting it done tonight with a decent amount of points compared to what they've been getting lately. Good shot from the boards. Pasternak from almost the same spot where he scored the goal. Hits it off Bobrovsky. It lands right in front, and Bergeron whacks it in from in close, and that was a knife in the heart of the Blue Jackets with only 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Bruins run out the clock and win the game. Now, one thing I thought was interesting before I get into the stats that I think are necessary to look at, you have to look at the Blue Jackets' time on ice and their deployment of their defensemen. Right? In that game, Seth Jones played over 30 minutes and 17 seconds in a very close game for a decent amount of it, the whole second period. The first period after Panarin scored. So they're relying heavily on Seth Jones. Werenski, he played about 26-48, and then no other defender played over 20. The only other guy on the Blue Jackets to play over 20 was Panarin. And I feel like if you rely on your star defenseman that much, the top pair that much, they're going to be really gassed, and it's just going to make them less effective. And I know Seth Jones and Werenski are great athletes, but I feel like what the Bruins run with their defensemen, where you have 4 guys getting over 20 minutes, then you got Clifton, who's getting I think Clifton got 7 minutes in the game or something like that. Where's Clifton? Clifton, 7:38. And then the only other guy who didn't get over 20 was Grizzly, who got 16:54, which isn't that little of ice time. That's like around what the second pair Blue Jackets got, and he's on the third pair. So really, they're running like 5 defensemen in Clifton when they give a breather. Also, if you look at, I believe this is 5-on-5, if you look at Clifton's offensive starts, 90%, they don't really trust him in the offensive zone. They're putting him, in the defensive zone. They're putting him out there at opportune times for him to get involved in the offensive side, because they don't want him defending as much. They're really protecting him. And I have a feeling if Kevin Miller was in that spot, it wouldn't be as much protection, and you'd see less, probably one less Bruins defender getting minutes in the 20s, and Kevin Miller would be around 15 minutes. So Kevin Miller's been missed, and I'm not sure we're going to see him this postseason, but that's not really important right now, because you got to take what you're given, and what we're given right now is Connor Clifton getting 7:38 on the ice, 90% offensive zone starts. But I didn't organize the Corsi here, which is kind of a mistake. I should have clicked on it, because you can see. But some that really highlight to me, 5-on-5. Brandon Carlo, when he's out there, he's getting 25% offensive zone starts. That means he's starting outside the offensive zone way more than he's starting in. I believe that's the lowest besides Corrali, the fourth line as well. The fact Corrali has over 50% Corsi with under 20% offensive zone starts is extremely impressive, because that means his line is getting the puck out of the zone, out of the Bruins zone, and getting into the Columbus zone and getting chances when he's on the ice. So that's very good to see from your fourth line, and he's been moved around a little. If he's playing good, he'll be moved up the lineup. As for Columbus, it's a not a really good pitcher for the Corsi. Only 3 guys significantly above 50%, and that would be Pierre-Luc Dubois, Bjorkstrand, and I believe Panarin should be too, right? Panarin with a filthy 71. Only one line for the Blue Jackets was really being effective 5-on-5, and it would be that line, and they've been shuffling their lines a little, so I don't have the exact lines off the top of my head, but as you can see, Duchesne 7 of 11 at 5-on-5. That's not going to get it done. 7 for 11 from Cam Atkinson. That's not going to get it done for the Blue Jackets. 8 of 21 for Josh Anderson. That's pretty bad. 0 offensive zone starts for Josh Anderson is pretty interesting too. But it's just the Bruins need to take advantage of the Blue Jackets' depth lines not having good games like they didn't have a good games tonight. They were having issues getting anything going. Really, that one line was a monster for them, but they weren't able to get on the board more than that one time when they got a gift. Also, the deeper you get into the series, the more I think John Tortorella is going to rely on that first pair. So you have to take advantage of them when they've been out there a while. Because if you're Seth Jones and you're playing over half the game, there's going to be the end of shifts where you're pretty tired, or you get left out there just a little bit too long, and the Bruins can just strike at those opportunities and use the right deployment. And in Game 5, home ice, you get the opportunity to take advantage of those matchups. And I think the Bruins could, and I know this might sound a little cocky, but it wouldn't shock me if the Bruins win Game 5 and Game 6, just because I'm not sure the Blue Jackets have it. Now, I could eat my words there, but I might be feeling a little too confident after the Bruins Game 4. But I don't know. I think the Bruins see the opportunity at hand to get to the conference finals after a very good game in Game 4, and I'd just be surprised if they lose this series, to be honest. But it is anyone's game, and if Columbus comes out here and smacks us in Game 5, I'm probably going to tone down that confidence tenfold. But it's really interesting to see power play stats, because this is an issue that the Bruins have had. Now, you can see at the bottom where it says total, the Bruins shot attempts for 20 to the to the shot attempts against 6 when they're on the power play. That's really bad when you're on the power play to let up 6 in a game. And I know they had 6 power plays, so you're giving up 1 offensive opportunity per power play, which is unacceptable. As you can see on the Blue Jackets side, 14-4 when they're on the power play, 0 against. And it's really shocking to see like one team that runs a power play very smoothly like Columbus. Yeah, it might not get the best results some nights, but they only give themselves chances, not the other team. And that's a benefit that they have having Seth Jones at the point. I feel like you really need to have McAvoy at the point. Less Pastrnak, less Marchand, because they're loosey-goosey with the puck up there. And it's just unacceptable at this point to be that relaxed at the point. You got to be ready to fire the puck on net, fire the puck down low. You got to make decisive decisions. And the Bruins just haven't been doing that well on the power play, despite getting 2 power play goals tonight, because when they get in the zone and they get it clicking, they can get it going. But it shouldn't take as long to get going as it does for them sometimes, and it shouldn't really take the risk of it. But that's really all I have for you today, because I wanted to make this kind of quick, and if I missed anything, I'm sorry. But I really am looking forward to Game 5 tonight, and you see, if the Bruins win Game 5, I'd be shocked if they didn't win the series. Sorry if I sound confident later in the video, but Columbus is a great team, so if they turn it around and they look better, it's going to be interesting. But I think John Tortorella has the ability to change some things up and make his team play better. But if he doesn't make changes and he stays stubborn and he plays Seth Jones over 30 minutes, which is too much, and he needs to shake up the lines a little too, because when you don't have it going like they didn't against Boston the other night in Game 4, you need to make more changes. You need to find the right combos, and I don't think he's done that well enough for the Blue Jackets at this point. Now, thank you for watching the video. If you're here to this point, hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button. I can't even talk right now. Hit the subscribe button if you want to follow my Bruins coverage throughout the playoffs and beyond. Leave a comment with your thoughts on the game, anything I messed up on, anything I didn't mention, anything you want to bring up, anything playoffs related. How about them Hurricanes, man? 4-0 sweep of the Islanders, man. They're going to be another well-rested team that the Bruins or Blue Jackets are going to have to face. It's going to be pretty tough to see the Bruins being fully energized against a team that gets a week and a half off that's so young like Carolina. But that's a story for another day, and we have to win the series against Columbus before we can even talk about that, because Columbus is a legit team. They can definitely win the series. I favor the Bruins now, though. That's all I have for you today. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for your support. Peace.